Good morning. Welcome to Orlando Center for Spiritual Living. This is such an exciting day. Every Sunday at Orlando Center for Spiritual Living is an exciting day. But this is an especially exciting one because we're going to decorate for Christmas after the service this morning. Gary got up early this morning and got to Home Depot before they were even open to get us the very freshest tree. And it's waiting in our staging area in our South Hall this morning. We're going to put it together and set it out here after the service. This is because of a special request that Shawn Kilgore is going to do a Christmas cabaret this Friday night. And how could he do a cabaret about Christmas without us being decorated for Christmas? And so it's our job today to decorate the center for that and all the upcoming things coming up for the holiday season. So do stay for that. I understand there's lots of food in the kitchen. You're not going to starve if you stay to help decorate the tree. And so that's the first announcement on the inside of your program on the right side, that we have visioning every Monday. And you know, one of the reasons that Orlando Center for Spiritual Living has become the thriving community that it is because we vision every Monday at 1:30. And it's on the phone, and if you have that time available, join Reverend Rosedale and Reverend Cindy and Reverend Catherine and myself and others that come on board for that. Everyone is welcome to join us for that visioning call. And also, if you want to catch the vision for your own personal life, visioning with us for the center is an opportunity for you to open to Spirit's influx of information. Michael Beckwith, who was one of the ones that founded this concept, calls it a divine download. You know, how many times would we like to hone that intuitive skill so that when we know when Spirit is speaking to us? And by visioning each week, we do that for the center, and things unfold as a result of that. But it's also a great teaching tool for our own lives. Okay, then we have the Ring in the Season, and we are inviting you, and Shawn's going to talk about his Christmas cabaret when he's doing some music with us today. But the idea is to bring a friend. You know, sometimes you've got a friend that you're uncomfortable inviting on a Sunday morning for whatever reason, but you're not hesitant to invite them to a social event. So this is purely social, as is our party on the 14th. So look on that right side. Joe, would you come up and talk about our Christmas party, our holiday party that will be on the 14th of December. This is his idea, so he's going to sell you on that.
Good morning. Happy Sunday, everybody. So, on December 14th at 7 p.m., we are going to have a wonderful party here, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's get our creativity out, and it's going to be a hat party. So, come out, bring out a big old hat or a little hat, decorate it, put lights on it, whatever you want. And there's going to be a judge that nobody's going to know who it is, that they're going to say, this is the most creative one, and we will have a prize for them. Also, there'll be some activities for the kids, which Rosedale is going to be helping me put together, and maybe we'll have the kids do their own hat for their age groups, and we'll have some prizes for them. Also, the color of the night is red. So if you feel inclined to dress up in red, you know, and you don't want to put on a hat, well, come on in red. So please bring your friends. It's a holiday party. It's not a service, like you said. It's a great opportunity to bring our friends over here and let them see the beautiful space that we enjoy every weekend, and maybe introduce them to the beautiful energy that we have here. Thank you.
Okay, Reverend Catherine has our Science of Mind reading from yesterday, actually, in the magazine.
Good morning. It is an exciting time. It is a very exciting, and I love this reading. The best is yet to come. Absolutely. All right, when I look at the future, it's so bright, it burns my eyes. Now, who said that? Y'all know her? Oprah Winfrey. We are drawn toward those things we mentally image, and that's from the Science of Mind. Now, does it seem like things aren't working? Are the plans you had not planning out? Have the goals you set gone by the wayside? Are your dreams drowning in the doldrums of despair, discontent, and doubt? Don't despair. Today is a new day, and your future is brighter than ever. Someone once said, each day is like a blank sheet of paper. You can write whatever you want on it. What will you write? Louis L'Amour said, and I love that. That was one of my father's favorite authors. Louis L'Amour said, everyone has in it within his power to say, this I am today, that I shall be tomorrow. The spoken word is so powerful. Don't be silent about your success. Speak it into existence. What you say, you begin to believe, and what you believe, you eventually achieve and receive. What do you believe about your future? What will you become? What will you do? What will you have? You hold the answer to all these questions. Use it. Unlock your potential and release your prosperity. Examine your beliefs. Just a minute. Examine your beliefs about yourself and what you have going for you. You will become amazed at the great treasures already within you. You are where you are today because of your beliefs, and you will be tomorrow where your beliefs lead you. Make sure you are headed in the direction of your highest aspirations. And if your current actions aren't supporting your future achievement, stop doing them. They're taking you in the wrong direction. We can never get to the right destination going in the wrong direction. Now, the affirmation, my confident belief creates power, progress, and prosperity. In my life, limitless possibilities are available to me now, and so it is.
Yes, come on up. Reverend Rosedale is going to talk about youth and family. She's been handing out flyers for everyone.
Yay, good morning, everybody. How was Thanksgiving? Tell me it was fabulous. Say fabulous. Yay, I love it. So I got to tell you, here we are going on to our 4th week. Now we're getting ready to call in the next group, right? How are we going to do that, Rosedale? I don't know. But you know what? One day I said to myself, what is Spirit's highest idea for our youth and community? What is Spirit's highest idea to get us in the next group? And guess what? These words came flying out on the computer. You see the flyers that you got? So all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, I like it. I didn't even know it was me who wrote it, but it's there. So think about it. Look at these words and see what they mean to you, because if you give them out at your work or someone in your neighborhood, you might be giving somebody the gift because, you know, next month is Christmas, right? And you could be giving out a nice, lovely gift to have these wonderful things happen for these families. So we're calling in the next bunch. Watch what happens, how magic happens for Christmas for us, right? So last week, what else did I want? Oh, guess what? We also have another person. Now remember, I think I said this weeks ago, that 10 people, 10 teachers come up and they teach and they work with our kids, right? But what happens is, if it's 10 teachers, you don't even have 4 times a year to work. You don't have to be there every week, but the teachers so far are loving it, so I don't know if they're gonna let y'all take their place, but at least you're gonna get some time in with our youth. How about that? So, all right, so if you have desire to take that time with our youth, come on and get involved. And we also have another person, Letty, lovely spirit here. She's also gonna be with our young. So we have Pam, Lorraine, and Letty for our young ones. We have myself, Chris, and Manny for our teens. And believe me, all of them are fabulous because they're coming up with their ideas. But although we are going along with our Science of Mind curriculum, our teachers love what they do. So they're doing this job, y'all, for us and our youth, and so that we can represent them. And another thing I'm going to bring up to you later is the summer camp for the teens. That's another step, but we'll be talking about that because I'm going to be showing you on these cameras one day what we actually do in summer camp and the winter camps. So we're going to have all that eventually. So just down the road stuff. I'm just telling you that we're growing. We're big already, right? We're big. Okay, so now what else is the next thing I want to tell you? So, so shopping. Whoa, I love doing that. How many people love to shop? How many people love to give gifts? Okay, so that's what this next list is. This is our supply list. So I gave out a flyer like this, and I have also our supply list. Now, these are what I'm asking for donations. Like, there's a waste paper basket. There are things like coloring pencils and those things like that for our young, right? However, a CD player, we got one so far, but we would like to have a second one. We also would like to have a smart TV for the teens' room and a camera, because we got to get really behind our technology for our young, because that's what they're all about. They are boom, 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 and I'm right with them. Boom, 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 right? So we need to stay with them, right? In order to get to where they are, we need to get to where they are, right? Right? All right, so that's what we want to do. Now, the next thing is the Amazon, because, see, we have books. I have about 10 books so far. This is not all the books that they have for young people. But here's the deal. I picked out at least 5 of these I know personally, and about 5 of them I looked at on Amazon to see what they said. And it's like Chicken Soup for the Soul for children. It's positive thinking for children. Change your mind, keep it changed, and your life changes. So it's things like that that they're going to be learning through these books. So what I have is the list on both sides for you, and you can pick a book and donate that. You can shop online. And you can pretty much do that. Now, one thing I want to tell you, it says here Amazon here, right? Well, Amazon Smile. If you use Amazon Smile and you order a book for your youth here, what happens is 0.5% goes to Orlando CSL. Every time you go in there and order something and buy it. And you just basically do this. You sign in at smile.amazon.com, choose Orlando CSL, and then that becomes every time you go on to Smile, Amazon Smile, you're ordering. And every time you order, even for your own personal goods, they donate 0.5% to Orlando CSL. So let's not lose out on that opportunity as well. So we got quite a few bangs for our buck around here, don't we? We're taking care of our young, and we're taking care of our all. Ha-ha! You thought I was going to say the wrong word. Not me. I'm not crazy. So anyway, that's the other part. So now we got that, and now I'll just tell you what we're doing today. Did I do everything? I think I did. Now, the last but not least, which is always the least, is the last topic. Today, we're talking about do your best in the last class of our 4 classes. It reminds me of the first 4 weeks of the year when we do the thing itself, the way how it works, and all of those things. Well, we started out with our teens with the 4 agreements, because it kind of sets us off on a respect for ourselves and to get to know who we are. So now, once we got that going on and we got them talking, it's making it a little, because teens are a little bit deeper than you think. So what happens is, what we want to do is get with them, go where they are, and they'll come with us, right? It's plain and simple. Or they will come where we are, and we'll go with them. But either way, it's win-win, correct? All right, so that's all I want to say, and I look forward to seeing you guys with some smiles on some people's faces when we come back. So at the end, after you do the hugs, we're all going to go up the stairs. And like magic, we'll be back. Oh, I think we need 1 book of each of these books. So if you are ordering, maybe you may want to let us know what you have Really, I think we just need one because these books are not for the teens per se. What we want with the teens are probably more techie stuff. But these are for the young ones who love the stories. The stories help mold their lives in a way. It's what it did to us, right? So basically, it does work, the stories. And these are great stories, and they're the same stories we have, but on their level. So we only need like one because Pam is very awesome with that. She's taken the lead with bringing it to life for them.
So what you're saying then is if they're going to order a book, your email address is right here, Rosedale Jones. Email Reverend Rosedale and let her know you're getting that book.
Isn't she so smart?
Communicate
Good idea.
with Reverend Rosedale, yes.
Good idea. See, brains belong on tap, not on top. So what I forget, somebody else remembers. I just love this. That's what I like about community. So anyway, that's exactly what it is. My email address is on here. I've got to tell you about. So anyway, guys, I'll see you all later, and enjoy the rest of your service. Bye-bye.
Good morning. My name is Shawn Kilgore. I am happy to be here this morning. I'm honored to be a part of the service and the energy that happens here on a regular basis. And I'm very excited to bring my Christmas cabaret to you this coming Friday evening. I'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later, but my first song is actually a song by Eddie Watkins Jr., which who I love. I've actually been able to meet him a couple times and actually sing with him a couple of times. And I love that the song that you played before you begin your service is an Eddie Watkins Jr. tune. So I hope you enjoy this tune. It's one of my favorites of his. I let it go. I release the thing I'm clinging to. I release what's holding me, and I'm falling into God's love. I let it be. There's nothing more for me to do, nothing more to say. I'm just falling into God's love. I feel Spirit holding me. It is lifting me on high. I let it go. I release the thing I'm clinging to. I release what's holding me, and I'm falling into God's love. I let it be. There's nothing more for me to do, nothing more to say. I'm just falling into God's love. I feel Spirit holding me. It is lifting me on high. I rise on a power I can't see. And on the wings of love I fly. I don't ask why. I don't need to understand everything. Ooh, but it's by faith I fly, and it's by grace I see, I see. I feel Spirit holding me. It is lifting me on high. I rise on a power I can't see, and on the wings of love I fly. Falling into God's love.
Let's greet and welcome one another, shall we?
Good morning. We welcome the energy here at the Center for Spiritual Living. What energy. It's great. My name is Al Cumberbatch, one of the practitioners here at the Center for Spiritual Living. Welcome to Orlando Center for Spiritual Living. Let's do our affirmation and our what we believe. It's in your program. Let's read it together. The affirmation. Spirit's abundance surrounds me at all the time. I know that all creation is a manifestation of God's mind, and that I am a child of God, ready to receive and dispense the good. And so it is. And from what we believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature. And so it is. Let us bow our heads briefly, knowing that abundance is ours, because we believe in God, our Creator, who resides within us. We accept our good right here and right now. It is so. Abundance is ours, and so it is.
Reverend Peggy wanted me to share a story with you. So this is the last Sunday of our unexpected good. Am I on? Hello? Okay, you can hear me. That's good. Okay. So I wanted to share with you that Flor Matias came in this morning. She's working today, but she wanted to honor her commitment to tithe out of unexpected income, and she had unexpected income. She thought her paycheck was going to be very small because she's taken some time off and had some things going on, and it came in and it was larger than usual. And so she considered that unexpected, and she came by just to be sure she honored her commitment to tithe on that. So I just wanted to share that kind of commitment to this. This is our last Sunday in the unexpected income program. Also, after service, I'm going to put my tall husband on a ladder, and the blessings that shower down are going down to be put in the ceiling. If any of you aren't aware of that, we have been writing blessings. This is based on something that happened in visioning about blessings showering down. And the ceiling doesn't work, but we have a suspended ceiling right out in this hallway, and so we've been putting our blessings for other people down on cards. There's a basket over here, and there's still some blank cards. If any of you want to add a blessing, they go up in the ceiling today and will forevermore shower down on the people in this building. Thanks.
So this Friday, 7:30 p.m., I will be presenting a show that I've put together called A Christmas Cabaret. I'm bringing with me a incredibly talented jazz pianist named Joshua Glenn Wilson. He's done some really great arrangements of a lot of Christmas tunes that you love. I think I've put together a really nice combination of things that you're familiar with and some things that you may not be so familiar with. I'll be doing a song from Elf, the musical. The Will Ferrell movie, they turned that into a Broadway musical, so I'll be doing a song from that. I'll be doing a tribute to Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and a lot of other sort of fun and exciting, sort of maybe a few unexpected kind of things. So I'm really looking forward to it. I do hope that you'll consider joining us. I think it's going to be a really fun evening, and I think it's going to be beautifully decorated, and I think it's going to be a real perfect way. It's safe now to listen to Christmas music, right? It's after Thanksgiving. Everyone's like, some people are like, why are you listening to that in July? Because I love it, right? But so the next song I'm going to do for you actually is just a little bit of a preview of the Christmas Cabaret. This is a Harry Connick Jr. tune. I pray on Christmas that the Lord will see me through. I pray on Christmas He'll show me what to do. I pray on Christmas He'll help me understand He'll take me by the hand. I pray on Christmas that the sick will soon be strong. I pray on Christmas that the Lord's gonna hear my song. I pray on Christmas that God will lead the way. And I pray on Christmas He'll get me through another day. I pray on Christmas. I pray on Christmas. I pray on Christmas. He'll get me through another day. I pray on Christmas all our problems gonna be worked out. I pray on Christmas God'll show us what love's about. I pray on Christmas to do your will each day. And I pray on Christmas that I'll be with you in heaven someday. This is much more exciting with a live piano player, this part. It's a big instrumental break. I pray on Christmas, oh, that the sick will soon be strong. I pray on Christmas that the Lord's gonna hear my song. I pray on Christmas that God will lead the way. And I really pray on Christmas He'll get me through another day. He'll get me through another day. I pray He'll get me through another day.
Thank you, Shawn. That was great. We've been talking a lot about abundance this last month, haven't we? And so one more talk on abundance. And this one is this morning, Gifts for the Abundant Life. Now there's a book, 5 Gifts for an Abundant Life by Diane Harmony, and she gives us some guidelines, and each of the letters of the word gift is a pointer to those. And that's a great book, and I recommend it to you, but that's not what we're doing today. What we're doing today is taking a look at the gifts that we have in our lives that indicate that we're already living the abundant life. And if we would like to live a life of greater abundance, for us to look at some things that are the core of our teaching of the science of mind, and that's what we teach here at this center on Sunday mornings and in classes, is a philosophy called the science of mind, written by and founded by Dr. Ernest Holmes, and there are centers all over the world talking about this teaching, the science of mind. So let's take a look at that and see what the gifts are for us for the abundant life. And we're not limited, although we love to talk about money, we're not limiting the abundance that we have in mind to be just money, but it's also abundance in our relationships, abundance in our home, in our career, in our feeling a meaningful life and expressing ourselves in a career of our choice or through volunteer work that we love to do, for us to live the most abundant life possible. Now, Jesus said some important words years ago, and you've probably heard them before. I've come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Why did Jesus say those words? What was it that he was dealing with when he said, I've come that ye may have life and have it more abundant? There were keys in what he was saying, and for us to take a look at that. Okay, so let's build a firm foundation. I do this quite often. I seem to be wanting to build a foundation, and we've got a good solid floor to build it on here, the sanctuary. This idea that all religions of the world believe in, and that is God is all there is. God is everywhere present and all-powerful and all-knowing. Every religion talks about that. I think that we in the science of mind philosophy believe it more than anybody else. Because not only do we say that God is all there is, we take that logic and we say, well, since God is all there is, there can't be anything else. And even if it looks like there's something else out there, maybe it's just a dream we're dreaming. Maybe it's just a belief that we have, and we're so powerful as individuals making choices that are not in alignment with what we really want. And once we learn how the law of mind works, now we can make new choices to have the gifts of the abundant life. So there's a story that I'd like to share, and I think I'd like to tell it about this little booklet of Science of Mind Sunday talks that Ernest Holmes did, and it's in the little booklet called Know Yourself. And the title of that Sunday lesson was Freedom from Limitation. Now, the way he begins the talk that's in this booklet, I think he was speaking during the Depression. You know, the teaching of the science of mind became really powerful during the very deepest Depression years. It started in the late 20s, went into the 30s and 40s and 50s, and it was in those 30 years that I think Ernest Holmes said these words: "We do not question the fact that the belief in lack and limitation has produced a similar objective condition. Nor do we deny that people are experiencing a condition of poverty which is not in harmony with happiness or wholeness. What we affirm, however, is that without consciousness, there could be no experience, and that if we are successful in changing the consciousness, we shall at the same time be successful in changing the experience." That really is at the core of our teaching of the science of mind. Change your thinking, keep your thinking changed, and your life will change, right? And we're going to have some new little cards put out. There's going to be something we can hand out to people pretty soon that say something very similar to that on them. This idea, if lack and limitation is not real, if it's just a dream that the world is suffering from, how many of you have had a nightmare and it really seemed real? Yeah, I woke up from one of those the other morning, and boy, was I glad it was only a dream when I woke up. And sometimes you can get dreams in your lives that you don't even know why you dreamed them. I'd like to tell a story about a dream that was very touching to me. It's in the latest issue of Guidepost magazine. I walked through a cemetery late at night. Even by the light of the full moon, the names on the tombstones remained shrouded in darkness. Then lightning zigzagged through the sky and illumined the headstone before me, Wes Smith. My heart stopped. I knew that name. I awoke with a start. It was only a dream, thank goodness. Still, I was unsettled. Why had I dreamed of Wes? Sure, we'd liked each other as sixth graders. We'd met in the fall of '72 and clicked right away. He was so handsome with his soft brown eyes and sweet smile. But then he moved away. I hadn't really thought about him in the 4 years since. It was just a strange dream, I told myself. It doesn't mean anything. But over the next few days, I couldn't shake the feeling that I had to tell Wes what I had dreamed about. I tracked down his address and wrote him a letter about the dream, but I didn't hear back. Eventually, Wes, the dream, and the letter slipped from my mind. One day, 4 years later, I dropped by the college dorm suite next door to borrow a book. "Hang on," my neighbor said, "I'll grab it from my backpack." While I was waiting, I glanced around and noticed her high school prom photos. I looked closer. Her prom date. Those soft brown eyes, that sweet smile. He was bigger and taller, but I recognized him instantly. Wes. My neighbor came back with the book. I told her how I knew Wes and was that I'd love to catch up with him. She put us in touch. As it turned out, he remembered me too. He was coming to town and wanted to meet. On a Friday night, Wes and I found ourselves at a college hangout, catching up over chicken wings. We filled in each other on the past 8 years. Then Wes's tone turned serious. Donna, he said, I want to thank you for sending me that letter. Wes explained that he'd gotten into drugs as a teen, but then he got my letter. It scared him into seeing that the way he was living might make my dream a reality. That letter you sent was the turning point. After I got it, I stopped doing drugs. It's been almost 40 years since that day. I never saw or heard from Wes again, but I'll never forget how we reconnected and the strange dream that turned out to be so much more. So dreams can be powerful, and it also points to our oneness as a human race, doesn't it? That Donna, that wrote this story, and Wes had some kind of a connection, and she probably saved his life by letting him know of the dream. But getting back to this idea that our experience of life, especially if we're not experiencing life at the highest and best level, it might be helpful to think it's only a dream and then do something about it. And what is it that we can do if the dream that we're living isn't the dream we want to be living? The first thing that Ernest Holmes, our founder, suggests that we do is to really believe these ideas in the all-powerful nature of the divine. That God is everywhere present, all-powerful and all-knowing. And for us to know that that also means all good, that wonderful idea of the kingdom of heaven, right? Being right here on earth and being right here within us, that's the truth. And if we're experiencing anything other than that in our lives, that those things that we're experiencing aren't facts that need to remain in our lives. They simply are giving us an indication of where our thinking is taking us. And then to realize that the only lack that we really have isn't in those outer things. Our lack is in our understanding of God. That's where we're lacking. If we're not experiencing the full, rich life that we want to be experiencing, the lack is in our misunderstanding of the way God works in our lives and how we can bring that into our lives to get the higher good. Okay, so let's say that a person that we love is experiencing that less than in their life. Let's say we're that person, and all of us have some area of our life where we could improve, right? Is there anyone here that doesn't have anything to improve? We all have things that we can improve. We can all have our careers be fuller, more fully expressed. We can all picture that this congregation is full even after the kids go off to junior church on a Sunday morning. We can picture all kinds of things that are great and good, and fill the balcony on Sundays. That's my dream, and I'm holding that to it, and I think that's what God wants to give us. So this wonderful idea that if the lack is in our understanding of the divine, that we make that shift. That we really come to understand that God is all wholeness, that God is all abundance, that God is all peace, all joy, all power, that life is wonderful, and for us to claim that for ourselves. You know, one of the real understandings as we come to understand is that God loves to give. That's what God is all about, is about givingness. God isn't about taking. We're the ones that need to learn to receive. We can give God the glory and also know that God doesn't even need us to do that, right? Because of the infinite nature of the divine. But for us to open to the place where we recognize who we are in our relationship with the divine. The gift of the abundant life is for us to really own that we are the offspring of the divine, made in the image and likeness of God, that our thoughts are creative, and we may be presently creating a lot of lack in our life, but we've got an abundance of it, right? Or we can have less than the health that we would like to experience, or less than the relationship or the home or whatever it is that's reaching to us and calling us, that may very well be God reaching to us and saying, this is yours if you only claim it. For us to be in that place and pick something small that's fun to play with, and then let it grow into the big things in our lives. And to say, okay, I'm going to accept the gifts of abundance in my life because I know the infinite is attempting to pour them upon me. Years ago, Emerson said, if you want to understand God, probably the place to look is not at the human race, but at nature. And he was probably right, wasn't he? That's not a direct quote. But if we take a look at the way the world is, we're not really seeing the way God works in the way that we can see it in nature. We certainly see no lack in nature, do we? In the cosmos, there's this abundance. Ernest Holmes says there's never been a cosmic famine. This wondrous idea that the infinite is just that. And the infinite is forever pouring that infinite upon us. And for us to get rid of our lack of understanding of God and really get into understanding our relationship with an infinite source. Do whatever it takes. Read Ernest Holmes' writings. Read the textbook. Many of you have read the textbook. Read it again. For us to find those things. Come to class. The Foundations class is ending soon, right? A couple weeks. This week or next week? The 5th, okay? But there will be another class coming in after the new year. Take classes. I invite us all to let go of our lack of understanding of God. And as we do, we will be embracing the gifts of abundance. That's where the key lies. And the outer things will fall into place. Let's do our affirmation together, shall we? The one on the inside that Al led you with, right under the greeting. Spirit's abundance surrounds me all the time. I know that all creation is the manifestation of God's mind, and that I am a child of God, ready to receive and dispense the good. And so it is. You know, each of us this morning could come up with an idea of something where things fell into place perfectly for you. All of you are experiencing that in some area of your life. And I just invite us all this morning to say, okay, in that area of my life, I understand how God works. And giving the gifts of Spirit for us to see that every good thing that comes into our lives comes from that one source. Give God the credit for that. Give Spirit the credit for that. That's where it came from. And all the channels into our life are created also by the divine. And the divine is not limited as to the number of channels of good that can come into our lives. For us to know that as we expect the unexpected and we live the life of knowing who God is in our lives are blessed and abundance is ours. And so it is. Let's turn within for a moment, shall we? Recognizing the allness of the divine, I give thanks for this knowingness that the only thing that any of us ever lacks is an understanding of the divine, and that we can solve that problem by study and prayer. We can pray on Christmas and other times and invite that wisdom of the infinite to flow into our lives in such a way that we allow the givingness of the infinite to infinitely bless us. No longer pushing it away from ourselves, no longer saying that we're not worthy, but opening to the worthiness of ourselves as being children of the Most High, God in expression. I give thanks that this is so, and so it is. Now it's time to share our abundance and celebrate that. And we have a prayer chest also. We'd like to do this morning. Couple basket cases, yes. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Don. Okay, as we take our gift in our hand or think about the one we sent online to the center, let's do our affirmation in unison together. How good it is to know that I am the place where the abundance of the universe flows, and as the abundance flows through me, it is with a grateful heart that I give. I know that as I give, so much more is given back to me. Gratefully and joyfully, I give of my time, my talents, my gifts, and my heart. And so it is. And those with prayer requests, hold them up so that Al will find you.
Deny anyone chance to share.
Thank you. Let's turn within, shall we? Giving thanks for our tithes and offerings today, knowing that Orlando Center for Spiritual Living exists because it is a divine idea in the mind of God and because of the givingness of each one. I also give thanks for this offering, know that we set that wonderful law of circulation in motion as we give, that is pressed down and multiplied and returned into our lives tenfold and more, reaching into the very nooks and crannies of our lives, blessing us as a result of our willingness to be that distribution point of God's good. I give thanks also for our prayer requests, knowing that the answer to each and every request already exists in divine mind, and that each of our prayer ministry team, our ministers and practitioners, will be praying about each of these requests this week in confidence, knowing that that outcome is assured. And so it is. And now in preparation for Reverend Cindy giving us our affirmative prayer, our spiritual mind treatment, Shawn will be leading us in a meditation song.
You know, you should compete for accepting the abundance for the church, because I can tell you from experience, it spills over to the collective.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I'm so sorry. We'll start over. So sorry. We'll get there. Sorry. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am blessed.
I take a moment to turn my attention to, is this going to work? Hello? Good? Yeah. Okay. I take this moment to turn my attention to that source of all blessings. For it is true that it is in my own understanding that those blessings flow. And so I lift my consciousness to the highest possible understanding I can have of that one that is the source of all. Recognizing it as that one which created all things of itself. It has no opposite. It is the everything, the allness, the source of all good, the intention of the expression of each life, the creator of the greatest and the smallest things I know, and so much more. As I open myself to that idea of God, I clearly understand that each one of us comes from that and is made of that and contains all that it is. I am of the one, and each one here is of the one, and we are its expression. We are its idea of how to be in the world, its idea of how to enjoy and embrace and explore and experience what it has created. And knowing that about each of us, I know that we must be containing in ourselves the wholeness, the whole complete idea that God had when each was created. And so, for each one here, there is the health, the vitality, the vibrancy that God knows as whole health. There is in each one here the belovedness that God knew as it created each one, loving its creation without exception, with no holding back, with no attachment, simply loving it as its own expression. So each one here, I know, is that beloved. And as that beloved receives and flows and gives love, receives it from every direction, experiences it in all of its forms, experiences it as wonderful companionship and partnership, experiences it as helpful strangers, experiences it in all the ways it has been brought to be. I know that each one here is endowed with the wisdom of that one, which sets everything in motion and lets it go on and on, self-moving, self-healing, self-perpetuating, the nature of the universe. All of the wisdom that set that into motion resides in each one here. And so decisions come easily. Paths are clear. There are bright lights on the way that leads us to our greatest expression, our greatest good, our greatest happiness. For that is the intention. I know that we are each supplied by that one that thinks only in abundance. There is no way to count the stars in the sky, the leaves on the tree, the grains of sand at the beach. God creates in absolute abundance, without limit. And so each of us is supplied with the creative ideas, with the networks, with the ways and the means to do all and everything that it is in us to express. Knowing that we are thus supplied, that we are of that one, that creator, I know that all is well and beautiful and wonderful in our lives, in the lives of those around us, in our ability to draw to ourselves all that we desire. I am grateful that this is true. I am grateful that I have steeped myself in the learning so that I can get this greater idea of God, that this great idea of God becomes my great experience of life, becomes the power in my words, becomes the ability to know and have come into manifest form. That gratitude is expressed here and now. That gratitude also flows forth to how this all manifests in every life here. And I let go in my final bit of gratitude that it is not mine to know how, but simply to know that this is so, and allow God to fill it in, bring it about in those wonderful ways beyond my imagining. And so I do let go, and I let God, and so it is.
Let's form our circle, shall we, for our peace song? And the kids are coming, I understand. There was one heralding the group, yes. Come on in, kids. So glad you're here. Good, good. Aren't they lovely? Let's give our kids a hand. Yay, kids! Okay.
Okay. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as our Father, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And as we go our separate ways today, after we've decorated our lovely center for Christmas, let us know that what we take with us is a new understanding of the all-powerful and unlimited nature of the divine and our relationship with that, knowing that we always receive the gifts of abundance. And so it is.